Okay, let's start. Congress is back in session after its recess this morning. Chief Clerk, next item.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is item 13, Foreign Government Communications. We have numbers 20-75 to number 20-78.
Assign those communications, Chief Clerk. Before we go to the order of the day, I want to notify members there is a revised order of business, and it's in your package, just for information. So, order of the day, first, item 14.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item 14, Standing Committee Reports. We do not have any.
Okay, next item.
Next item is item 15, Special Committee Reports. We have number 20-16 from the committee to wait on the President.
Okay, Chairman Rosemont.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As you can see on the order of the day, under item 15, there is a report from that committee to wait on the President, and it has been, the report has been printed, duplicated, and distributed, so it should be in your package for this afternoon. I therefore move to adopt the special committee report.
It's moved and seconded that special committee reports number 20-16 be adopted by Congress. Discussion.
Speaker.
Go ahead, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. If I may, there are a couple of technical amendments that I wish to offer orally on the report.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under the heading Committee to wait on the President, delete the phrase May 8 and insert in lieu thereof March 8.
Well, it looks like everybody's advancing the date. We're really eagerly looking forward to May, the month of May.
Speaker, it was the typewriter computer that did a mistake. It wasn't the chairman or the committee that had anxiously put in something for the future. And in the first paragraph, Mr. Speaker, that same correction should be made, as well as in the second paragraph, first sentence. Again, May 8 should be changed to March 8.
First mistake, yeah, that's understandable. But to repeat the same mistake 3 times, I think it's by your instruction to our staff.
That is not correct, Mr. Speaker. I had blindly read the report, and it came out like this. I think our computers are trying to trick us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, and we'll treat those as technical corrections. Legal staff, Chief Clerk, take note of that. Same thing on page 2 and page 3, the top of the date also changed to March. Okay. So they will be treated as technical, Chairman. Now, discussion on the report itself. Any discussion? Chairman Rosemont, you want to lead us through? This is the written report. What about the unwritten part?
Well, Mr. Speaker, the accompanying staff of that committee did a very good job in memorializing in the written document all that was discussed at the committee to wait on the President. So everything discussed was included in the communication, and basically the issue of importance is the declaration of emergency, which we had discussed with the President, and the report alluded to what the President was advising that Congress would be asked to help with. So everything is in there. So I move for the adoption of the report.
That's already been done. We're in discussion. Any other discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Special Committee Report number 20-16, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Report is adopted. Next special report, Chief Clerk.
There are no more special reports, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Next item.
Next item is item 16 for assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet number 20-104.
Okay. Chairman and members, review that the referral sheet for your planning purposes. Next item.
Next item is unfinished business, none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Short recess subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. There's no objection. We will go down to item 19. That's the resolution calendar. Any resolution, Chief Clerk?
None, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Florida Harbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 4 resolution to place on resolution calendar for today, and they are as follows. CR number 20-181, CR number 2182, 2183, and 2184. And I so move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the following resolutions, resolution number 20-181, number 20-182, number 20-183, and number 20-184 be withdrawn or be placed on the resolution calendar for action. Motion to suspend.
Speaker, I move to suspend any relevant rule that may impede our action on all the 4 resolutions.
Second. It's moved and seconded that any relevant rules that might impede our action be suspended at this point. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended, so let's vote. Those in favor of the motion to place those resolutions on the resolution calendar say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolutions number 20-181 to 20-184 are now placed on the resolution calendar for action. Chief Clerk, first resolution.
Yes, the first resolution is Congressional Resolution number 20-181 for adoption. CR number 20-181 is a resolution extending the national declaration of emergency for the Federated States of Micronesia for 60 more days.
Okay, Florida Harbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move for the adoption of the said resolution.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-181. Discussion, short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on discussion of resolution number 20-181. Any discussion? Any discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-181 say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-181 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution. Chief Clerk.
The next resolution is Congressional Resolution number 20-182 for adoption. CR number 20-182 is a resolution expressing the sincere gratitude and appreciation of the 20th Congress of the Federated States of Micronesia to the United States Congress for passing the Real ID Act modification for Freely Associated States Act.
Florida Harbor.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker, and again, I move for adoption of resolution number 20-182.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-182. Discussion. Recess subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing 20-182. Any further discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-182 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-182 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next resolution is Congressional Resolution Number 20-183 for adoption. CR Number 20-183 is a resolution setting the ceiling of the total funds estimated to be available for appropriation from the General Fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2019.
Floor Leader Herbert.
Move for adoption of resolution number 20-183.
No second? It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-183. Discussion. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still in discussion of 20-183. Any further discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-183 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-183 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution is Congressional Resolution Number 20-184 for adoption. CR Number 20-184 is a resolution disapproving parts of a joint communique signed by the Executive Branch of the Federated States of Micronesia at the 19th Micronesian Presidents Summit in Palau and calling for respect of the sovereignty of the FSM.
Okay. For Leader Herbert.
Again, move for adoption of resolution number 20-184.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-184. Discussion. Any discussion? Speaker orders is subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing resolution number 20-184.
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Panuelo.
Speaker, I read the news about the communique, and that's what kind of entered my mind. Today, I want to put on record my concerns. That question that I would ask is, where was our Department of Foreign Affairs at the time of the drafting of the communique that we did not
I'll answer that. They actually signed.
intervene? Well, they signed, but now the issue before us is we're trying to express that we do not endorse that, because as a person working in the Department of Foreign Affairs, and when we signed diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, the bedrock of our policy at the time was that we respect the mutual sovereignty of the two countries, and it's based on the One China policy. And so I express my disappointment that we did not help to draft the communique in such a way that would respect the position of the FSM government in relation to our policy with the One China policy. So I want to put on record that, we don't want to create rifts with nations that we already have diplomatic relations with, and they're based in our country with accredited ambassadors to our government. And I think it's an insensitive move, and I hope that we do not repeat this kind of thing. They're there to represent our interests, and I think it should be done in a more sensitive manner. So I'm expressing that we do not repeat this kind of mistake, and I think that two sponsors of this resolution has brought forth. I would have signed on, Speaker, as a co-sponsor as well to this one, and I know we were all busy with the activities of our election, But I commend you and Chairman Vicker on behalf of the rest of the members who will be supporting the passage of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Panuelo. Any further discussion? Vice Speaker Moses, and then Chairman Romulo later. Vice Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, or good afternoon to you, members, those observing. I think, in my opinion, the resolution's intent is very good. I just have a problem with some of the terminology used where it says in areas that the One China policy is the official policy of the FSM. It might seem that we have our own One China policy because although if you track the diplomatic history between our two nations, China, the People's Republic of China is the one that we recognize and have diplomatic. We don't have any with Taiwan. And I don't think in any of our laws or anything we have made it a specific policy in the FSM to have a One China policy. What we do recognize is China. And China has it was made clear in several meetings that China has their One China policy, and with us having diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China shows that we agree to their diplomatic policies, but it's not a policy of the FSM. But we made it a policy when we established diplomatic relations with them, but we don't specifically have that in the language. So I was thinking maybe if that could be changed a little bit to say, clarify that we do have diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, but not state that we have our own One China policy.
Okay. I will allow Romulo first, then you. Chairman Romulo.
You don't have to make that the sounds of your... Thank you, Speaker. I also wish to register my concern in line with the other previous speakers. My disappointment with the signing of the communique, knowing the highest diplomat that we have is the one that signing the communique, which I don't know how. I know it's a big issue with Chinese, with the People's Republic of China, and I do understand the pressure that our secretary have with the other sister freely associated states and the members of the forum. But I read over the report on the committee. I thought this should be discussed during the committee debate because it's a big issue, and I hope the executive would also have at least show the counterparts that we either regret or they regret what it has done. We will do it on our part, but I think the executive would also at least show that we still abide by the One China policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Romulo. Chairman Ursumal, it's your turn now.
Well, thank you, Speaker. I have proposed amendment that I wish to make on the resolution, but I have always been under the understanding that the FSM has a One China policy, as has been discussed and made public by presidents of this nation, former
Three presidents saying this policy.
And as one of those, that was again reiterated during my administration, during my 4 years of services in that office and in visiting the People's Republic of China and in meeting with officials from that government, that one China policy, as adhered to by TFSM, was always made very public, and it was one of our bedrock of our foreign policy. Of course, we have the United States that is not denying the importance of that relationship, but it's I kind of am concerned about the statement made by Vice Speaker that we don't have a one China policy. We do have one, and that is the People's Republic of China. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I wish to attempt an oral amendment to the resolution, if I may.
Okay, let's hear it. Proceed.
Okay, on line 10, page 1, after neighboring countries, insert a semicolon and the word and insert the following phrase. Whereas the FSM has always respected the sovereign rights of all countries, especially neighboring countries, comma, to set their own foreign policy, semicolon, now, comma, therefore, comma, I so move. End of the amendment. And
Any second? It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments by Chairman Original to Resolution 20-184 be adopted. Discussion? Short recess. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing the offered oral amendments to resolution. Any further discussion on it? If not, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendments by Chairman Original to Resolution 20-184, say yes.
Nay.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are adopted. We now have CD1. Okay, any further discussion on CD1? There was the concern raised by Vice Speaker Moses, and I think if there is anyone who can help him out on his concern, I think that's how he said it's a concern, right, Vice Speaker? Okay, if none,
short recess, Mr. Speaker.
short recess, subject to call of the chair. In session, we're still discussing CT1, Resolution 20-184 CT1. Any further discussion? Questions being called for. If there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Resolution number 20-184 CT1, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-184 CT1 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
As of now, there are no more resolutions, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. If you have no more resolution, let's go back to the bill calendar if there's no objection. Item 18. Okay, first bill. Any bill?
There are no bills, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar. There are no bills. Chairman Wala, you have any?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place the following bill calendars on today's bill calendar for action. The first, the following bills are to withdraw are 20-290, to 291, 20-292, 20-293, 20-294, and 20-295. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that the following bills 20-290, 20-291, 20-292, 20-293, 20-294, and 20-295 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the appeal calendar for action. Floor Leader, motion to suspend?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend any relevant rule that may impede our action on those resolutions, and may I ask for a short
Yes.
recess?
On those bills. Any second to the motion? It's moved and seconded that any relevant rules that might impede our action on the motion for appeals. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Those in favor of the motion for suspension of rules, say yes. Votes nay. Motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended, so let's vote. Those in favor of the motion to withdraw and place those bills, say yes. Votes nay. Motion carried. The bills so enumerated are now withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for action. First bill, Chief Clerk, 290.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first bill is Congressional Bill Number 20-290. CB Number 20-290 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law Number 20-125 as amended by Public Laws Numbers 20-135, 20-146, and 20-157 by amending Sections 3, 5, and 6 thereof for the purpose of changing the use and allotment of certain funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of the states of Koshai and Chuk and for other purposes.
Floor Leader Arbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the passage of said bill on first reading. Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CB number 20-290. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. First reading. Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Adlick? Senator Aritos? Senator Figueroa? Senator Colan? Floor Leader Harper? Senator Conman? Vice Speaker Moses? Senator Ned? Senator Panuelo?
Amen.
Senator Berman? Senator Romulo? Senator Orozamal? Senator Wali? Speaker Simula?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 12 members voted in affirmative.
CB number 20-290 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next bill is CP number 20-291 for first reading. CP number 20-291 is a bill for an act to appropriate the sum of $7 million from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2019, for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, Koshai, Pohnpei, and Chuk states, and for other purposes.
Floor Leader Arbor.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Move for passage of first reading of Bill 20-21. Second.
291. It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-291. Discussion. Chairman Panuelo?
I was going to second the motion.
Okay, it's seconded. Any further discussion? Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. First reading. Chief Clerk.
Senator Adlick, Senator Aritos, Senator Figueroa, Senator Colan, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Neth, Senator Panuelo, Senator Berman, Senator Romulo, Senator Orozamal, Senator Wali, Speaker Semina? Mr. Speaker, 12 members voted for.
CB number 20-291 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
The next bill is CB number 20-292 for first reading. CB number 20-292 is a bill for an act to amend sections 1, 8, and 9 of Public Law number 20-131 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-154 and 20-159 in order to appropriate $10,250,000 of additional funds from the General Fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2019 to provide funding for the National Scholarship and the Evism Trust Fund and for other purposes.
Floor Leader Harbert.
Move for passage on first reading the said bill.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CB number 20-292. Discussion.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I take it that this is part of an automatic law, right?
No, actually, this is in addition
But
to the
it's,
50%.
so it's an addition to the automatic.
Yes.
Okay.
So altogether will be 34. Okay. Okay. I didn't say anything, just 34, that's all. Okay. Any other discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. By roll call. First reading.
Senator Alic, Senator Aritos, Senator Fikir, Senator Colan, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Panuelo, Senator Berman, Senator Romulo, Senator Urusamal, Senator Wally, Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 12 members voted for.
CP number 20-292 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the next bill is CB number 20-293 for first reading. CB number 20-293 is a bill for an act to amend Public Law number 20-160 by amending Section 1 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs in the state of Chuk and for other purposes.
Floor Leader Harbert.
Again,
That's your
move for
bill.
passage on first reading said bill.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-293. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. First reading.
Senator Alic, Senator Aritos, Senator Fikir, Senator Colan, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Panuelo, Senator Berman, Senator Romulo, Senator Urusamal, Senator Wally, Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 12 members that are present voted for.
For that reason, CB number 20-293 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next bill is CP number 20-294 for first reading. CP number 20-294 is a bill for an act to amend Public Law number 20-151 by amending Section 1 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs in the state of Chuk and for other purposes.
Okay, Floor Leader Harbert.
Thank you again, Speaker. I move for passage of bill number 20-294 on first reading.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 20-294. Any discussion? Man, I'm jealous of floor leader's got so much money stashed away. Okay, any discussion? If none, there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members on first reading. Chief Clerk.
Senator Alic, Senator Aritos, Senator Fikir, Senator Colen, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Panuelo, Senator Berman, Senator Romulo, Senator Urusamal, Senator Wali, Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 12 members that are present voted for.
CP number 20-294 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
The next bill is CB number 20-295 for first reading. CB number 20-295 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 20-141 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-145 and 20-163 by amending sections 3, 5, and 6 thereof to change the use and allotment of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding priority infrastructure projects and other projects and programs in the states of Koshai, Pohnpei, and Chuk, and for other purposes.
Floor Leader Harper.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Move for passage of said bill on first reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CB number 20-295. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed, so let's vote by roll call of members on first reading. Chief Clerk.
Senator Alic, Senator Aritos, Senator Fikir, Senator Colen, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Panuelo, Senator Berman, Senator Romulo, Senator Urusamal, Senator Wali, Speaker Semina. Mr. Speaker, 11 members voted for.
Oh. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. For that reason, CP number 20-295 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, there are no more bills.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Back in session. Next item. Chief Clerk.
The next item is item 20, introduction of bills and resolutions.
If you have any measure to introduce, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the next item is item 21, miscellaneous communications. We have one, and it's number 20-44.
Okay. Sign that. Okay, next item is miscellaneous business. Do we have miscellaneous business by members?
Short recess, please.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on the miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous? If none, then announcement. Chairman Ulit.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No announcement from your exec committee.
Okay, Vice Chairman Net. Thank you. Chairman Berman.
HSA, no announcement.
Chairman Nardes. Chairman Romulo. Chairman Panuelo.
No announcement, Speaker.
Chairman Colen.
No announcement, thank you.
Vice Chairman Conman. Chairman Roosevelt.
Again, Mr. Speaker, just one, wish to announce that Chairman Fikir and I are very grateful to the people in here for putting us back into the seats, 2 seats for you. No announcement on education.
Yeah, well, for you, that's same old story, so we don't know. For you and Chairman Fakir, nothing exciting there. Again, okay, Vice Speaker Moses, you have any announcement? If none, okay, for Leader Harbor, make your announcement and then use your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just few minor things. First, I'd like to inform our delegation that Governor is on the island and is requesting if we can meet with him tonight, if possible. Second thing, I would like to ask if we can meet, if not today, maybe tomorrow, our delegation to discuss certain things. First, our assistance to the outer islands in Chuuk as a result of the devastation left by the recent typhoon, Uti or whatever name it is. Second, we will discuss the replacement of the late Lieutenant Governor as to who will be taking that position, whether one of us or the leadership, one of the leadership in Chuuk. Second one, we want to discuss the presidency in the next administration. Third one, we want to discuss the replacement of Speaker Simina if he's forced to go across. And the fourth one, or the fifth one, is the replacement of Speaker Simina from our leadership in Chuuk if he happens to be going to the executive branch. Thank you.
Thank you, that's a mouthful announcement. Okay, make your motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we stand in recess and come back at 10 o'clock tomorrow a.m.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until, or stand adjourned until tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Congress now stands adjourned until tomorrow at 10 in the morning.